Holy beans, what an episode of Doctor Who that was. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be talking about Doctor Who Season 2, Episode 2, Lux. Real quick in the beginning, I just want to talk about, because it's just, I feel like it can't be, but it seems like it's likely, that all of the leaks online lately, it's just all that shit. I don't want to get into details, but like, it seems like the show might not get renewed. Is that all just part of the storyline? Is it all Mrs. Flood?
Better warn you though. Limited run only. Show ends May the 24th.
I kind of doubt it, but it kind of seems that way. A few things in this episode made me think that. Anyways, we got a cold open in the beginning of the show, and it was Mr. Ring-a-Ding crawling through the theater towards people. It was kind of cool. I thought we'd get like a little more of that, or like a build up to that. I was surprised we opened with it, but it's him. He takes 15 people out of the theater. It is that. It's all it's I don't know. He's more fun to me than creepy. I feel like he was supposed to be creepy, but I kind of had more fun with him than that. But yeah, we get Mr. Ring-a-Ding played by Alan Cummings. Wow, I love him, and I wish he could come back more and more and more onto Doctor Who. He was on it recently before this.
Your Majesty. God's chosen ruler and Satan's greatest foe come to vanquish the scourge of witchcraft.
Now he's back as Mr. Ring-a-Ding, but he was just amazing in this. I love hearing him play just like a flamboyant, just out of control character. But then after that, we go to Belinda and the Doctor are in the TARDIS. It's left off where we were last episode, and they can't get to May 24th, 2025. And Belinda, I don't remember their exact conversation, but Belinda's asking him questions, and she's like, "What? We can't go to Time Lordia?" And Doctor's like, "Oh, I kind of wish it was called that. No, it's just Gallifrey." And he kind of tells her about the Time Lords. That we get a little bit throughout this episode sprinkled of him telling her about the Time Lords. Eventually, when they're cartoons, he mentions that there's no more.
I didn't tell you everything back in the TARDIS. We can't ever go back to my planet because Gallifrey is a ruin. My people are dead. I'm the last of the Time Lords.
But that's just for her to kind of know his backstory. But I do like Time Lordia. Time Lordia is a pretty good name. I feel like that might come back. But so then the Doctor makes a Vindicator. He sends a signal to 2025. They have to land somewhere. He does it. It's that little blue thing he's holding. He does that. And so they can try to beam right to 2025. But considering this is only the second episode, I got a feeling that's not going to work for a while. So we'll see what the Vindicator does next episode. But this is fun. They did some of this shit with Ruby as well. But because they're in 1952, they run around the TARDIS and they go to get new clothes. That's always fun. I really like that about this Doctor. Instead of just having a suit to go around all the time, which is fun. I do dig that with some of the outfits of the Doctors, but that he gets to have whatever the time period is or whatever the adventure needs, he gets to dress up like that. That's pretty fun. And Belinda looks great. It's just always a good time with that. And it also gives Back to the Future vibes, which I love, the music and just how people were talking. I love that shit. But while they're there, they peep out to do the Vindicator stuff, and they notice that the theater is chained up. The Vindicator dings. They're gonna go back into the TARDIS. Belinda really wants to get back in the TARDIS, but the Doctor wants to investigate. They end up going to get coffee, and this is where we get a little bit of, because they're in 1952 America, things are very racist.
You're segregated, no blacks, which includes you. We're breaking the law just by being in here.
While they're in the diner, they talk to a mom about her missing son, Tommy Lee, and I was halfway expecting it to be the real Tommy Lee by the end of the episode or something. Not actual Tommy Lee, but a young version of him or something, but it was just some dude named Tommy Lee, unfortunately. But I did that scene was pretty neat. I liked that she saw the TARDIS and it gave her hope, and the Doctor gave her a whole nice mini Doctor speech. But that was a good moment. I liked that. But they also learned there that there's an old caretaker named Mr. Pie, with Belinda calling the Doctor, what would she call him? I think she did just call him Scooby-Doo, and he's like, "Bitch, I'm Velma." He didn't call her bitch. He wanted to, though. But so right after that, the Doctor and Belinda, they meet Mr. Ring-a-Ding. Apparently, he is a harbinger. We got a bunch of those fuckers last season. Now we're getting more gods. He's Lux Imperator, the god of light. Once that started happening, I almost thought that, either he was just going to be, a little lackey for the light god, or he was going to have a new form, but he was just Mr. Ring-a-Ding the whole time. So apparently that's who he is. I did like that, though. So after he's revealing to them shit, he's going to chase down the Doctor and Belinda and get them. Reggie, the Mr. Pie, he turns on the Mr. Ring-a-Ding music behind him, so then also Mr. Ring-a-Ding is like, "Fuck, oh, I can't help but dance," and he has to complete it. That was fun. I kind of wish they did more stuff like that throughout the episode, but that was a pretty neat moment. I like that he was a little bit Bugs Bunny-ish, and I love that he had his own soundtrack with him and they could hear the soundtrack. Such good cartoon moments, like Who Framed Roger Rabbit, Looney Tunes back in action. I love when animation goes with real life. It's just always fun. We get a little sad moment here Reggie, the doctor, Belinda, they're all chit-chatting. Reggie ends up telling them that he's lost his wife, and Mr. Ring-a-Ding helps him, like, bring her back, and he's dancing with her, and if Mr. Ring-a-Ding's real, then that's definitely real. But that's sweet. That was a really cute moment. Belinda's looking at a film reel of, like, missing people in the episode. It reminded me of, like, the TVs with, where Rose got stuck on the TV, and there's a whole bunch of other TV people. It gave me the same vibes as that. The doctor and Belinda get animated. They have to get three-dimensional, and they like just have like an emotional conversation and like end up becoming real throughout. I really hoped we'd stay in there a little longer. I thought a lot of the episode was going to be animated, but I'm glad with what we got. And then this, oh boy, this is where the episode gets weird from here on out. It's a weird one. So the bitch from the diner's back. She's with a cop, and they're pointing a gun at Belinda and the doctor. She wants her son Tommy Lee back. She's like, "Give me back my fucking Tommy Lee."
You're inside a space reserved for white folk.
And apparently that was just a movie, though. Thank God. I thought that was gonna be a whole racist turn, but no, it was just a movie. Mr. Ring getting fucked up too. He had like a different accent and a different costume, something like that. But so then the doctor and Belinda, like they keep pulling down the film reel over and over and over again. But then after that, they push down the screen and crawl into a Doctor Who fan's living room.
I knew this would happen because it was leaked online. Hashtag RIP Doctor Who.
That's so fucking insane. I can't believe that they did that. But they crawl into the room. The fans knew that it was going to happen because it leaked online. And then one of them says, RIP Doctor Who.
And you sit and you watch me on the TV.
This is what I'm talking about from the beginning, where it does feel like they were fucking with us and they were leaking their own shit. And maybe I'm just wrong. And maybe just this stuff leaked and that's why it was out there. But it feels like they were fucking with us. But I love that the doctor he's like, wait, I'm in a TV show. You guys watch it? And you like, what's your favorite episode? What's your favorite adventure? And they all love Blink, no matter what adventure. He keeps mentioning stuff from last season. It's just Blink. That was a good gag. I really liked that gag. There's a short stay there. They're talking to people. It seems like the fans are going to disappear, which I kind of did I dug that joke where it's like they were a one-off, so we'll never see them again. So they do just kind of disappear and they're dead. And they have like a whole kind of sad moment about it. But they do come back at the end of the episode. So apparently they're not dead. I wonder if they will be back in the show again. I bet they will be. But to get out of the situation, the doctor and Belinda cause celluloid. I think they just like get really big in the picture. To be honest, I didn't understand what was happening. What happened is they caused the film to catch fire and it let them out of the film. So they use that. As soon as they get out, Mr. Ring-a-Ding ends up using filmer, which just looked really nice. I really liked how it looked. And it tied up the doctor. He's hanging there. And the reason he does that is because he saw the doctor use his bi-generation energy to heal his hand. So he was like, oh, fuck. And the doctor says, like, he can, I don't know, he explains it to Belinda, and Mr. Ring-a-Ding hears. So then he wants to use that to create a real body. So he does that. The doctor's like, hey, Belinda, go fucking light shit on fire while I'm tied up, for fuck's sake. And she goes and lights the film reel. It knocks the doctor down, but it's too late. Mr. Ring-a-Ding's, he's getting pretty big. He's like euphoric about it. He's loving it. He gets infinite light from the sun, and he's everything and nothing, you know? It was an iffy ending, to be completely honest, but I like Alan Cummings, and I liked how it looked, so it worked. And as soon as he's gone from the theater, all the missing people, they just come back, they walk out of the theater. Tommy Lee is there, and he's not the Tommy Lee we all thought he was. The doctor and Belinda run off back to the TARDIS, and Mrs. Flip pops out and is like, hey, watch this show. And they're all like amazed by it, but then she's like, the show ends May 24th. A limited run. That's interesting. This is where I also think like she's fucking with us, and the show's fucking with us, and I wonder if they're holding off on renewing season 3 for that, or is that just me hoping? I will have to wait and see, I guess. But let me get one last little moment. The camera turns. We're actually back in the fans' apartment. They critique a whole bunch of bits of the episode, and then they're like, oh shit, we're back. So that was kind of fun. I liked that, the little on the nose, calling out themselves for shit they do throughout the show constantly. That was kind of fun. So if you guys watch Doctor Who Unleashed, at the end of every episode, they end up having an exclusive clip to the next episode. So what we're going to do is we're going to watch that exclusive clip together, see what it tells us about the well, which is probably, it's going to be nothing, but we'll see. This is the one that Russell T Davies says this in episode 6. You want to watch as soon as they air. You do not want to be spoiled for them.
Next time on Doctor Who.
Your luck only takes 6. Doctor and Belinda with me, plus Troopers 1 to 3. Troopers 4 to 9 follow us in.
Yeah, sick clip. Yo, that was a sick clip. That was fucking cool. I'm glad I watched that. The fuck is that? Why even waste our time with that? It's supposed to be a huge episode. The theory is that it's a sequel to the Midnight episode with David Tennant, but Who really knows? It does seem like this is definitely a sequel to something. I'm excited for it. It looks like this is gonna be a pretty big episode. I'm excited for it. I love a big twist in Doctor Who. Who doesn't, you know? But yeah, final thoughts on Lux, Mr. Ringding. I fucking loved. Alan Cummings was amazing. I do really like that Belinda's getting a little bit more on board with the Doctor. She's starting to realize that it's not just all I mean, it is all completely dangerous, but the Doctor has a lot of heart, and I think she's finding that.
Those things we said when we were scared, they're still true. So let's go out and face them together, okay?
Alright, that was it though. That was Lux. I really dug this episode. So far this season is off to a really strong start. Also, how the hell is Mrs. Flood gonna pop up next week? They're in the well, they're going to that, you know, she just popped up at the end here with that crew, but where the hell is she gonna pop up next week? Comment that down below. As if you're gonna know.